So a little more on the difference between capacity and coping. In a previous video, I talked a little more at length about capacity, which in short is our ability to be with things, to our aptitude and skill for kind of being present, right? And coping is what we do when we need to kind of like compartmentalize and get away from our difficulties, or our struggles. And so it tends to be something we push away. We kind of isolate it from where we are. And I want to start by saying neither one of these things are more honorable or good than another. These are both skills that are really important to just being a human being, right? Sometimes we cope with something, and sometimes we cultivate the skill to really be present to it and engage with all of what's going on. But I wanted to point out that coping won't set the stage for compassion, for presence, for the ability to listen, for relating, for being able to be what's aware of inside, what's going on inside of us and what's going on inside of another person. That's what capacity is. And so when we are in our coping strategies, we tend not to be able to have access to these more relating kinds of processes like listening and compassion. But coping tends to be very efficient. So when there's a lot of pressure, we might feel like it's more often than that that pressure will eat away at our capacity. So urgency or the need to do a bunch of things or feeling like you're late or overwhelmed will eat away at your capacity, or your capacity's been eaten away at, and so you feel like this. And so our coping mechanisms are really efficient. They kind of navigate things pretty quickly, and but they also tend to set us up to negate those things, as not pay attention to them, not to not fully deal with them. So just noticing like where your balance is between coping and capacity, and being really gentle with yourself about it, because parenting is pretty much by definition a pressure cooker. And so that creates a lot of stress and a lot of potential for going back to old patterns, when what we may be wanting is to build our capacity. And so the first thing that's kind of required is a pause or some kind of break in the perpetual motion machine that we're all existing in. And so just notice, like, what if you took a pause? What if you took a breath? Just gave yourself, right now, you can even just give yourself 3 breaths, just the slow, regular pace of a breath, and just sit here. And just see what happens in your body. What do you notice about your capacity, and what do you notice about your coping skills? Thanks.